Well, hello again. This is Carl Rogers, and today we're going to look at the SciTech Automated Materials Handling System. As you can see, this one's a little bit fancier than the last one that I showed you. Now right here, for some reason, I started on the start screen. And what you're seeing here is 3 bulk bag feeders, all with scales to tell you how much chemistry is in there. This particular system can handle up to 16 different chemicals feeding at the same time. All of them feed into our main feeder here. This also has a small volumetric feeder at the top. This one's showing 2 for 2 volumetric feeders. What that is for is so that the bulk feeder can feed the volumetric feeder, and the volumetric feeder can add the chemistry at a very, very, very specific rate, plus or minus 0.01%. And that is pretty accurate. So anyway, we use this personally, and this design doesn't actually exist anywhere else. Most everyone else uses a ribbon blender. They convey, basically they do use these feeders, but these feeders that they use are at a 45-degree angle, augering everything up, taking a whole lot of floor space. Our feeders are absolutely 100% vertical, so we can set them right around the feeder. The feeder itself is vertical. The feeder itself actually only utilizes a 1 horsepower 220 single phase motor to drive the entire auger to mix the entire volume within 8 minutes. That's about half of what it takes to do the same thing with a general ribbon blender. Remember, this one's completely automated and very, very accurate. We are using, to give you an example, a typical ribbon blender, because it is trying to blend sideways the entire volume of dry material, it has to utilize a 10 horsepower 483 phase mixer, gear reduced down, and typically takes anywhere from 16 to 20 minutes to do a batch. Well, imagine you're running that 24 hours a day. Well, imagine replacing it with this relatively inexpensive system and using 1/10 the power. Instead of doing a 220 single phase, we could do a 483 phase 1 horsepower motor and do exactly the same thing. We're also taking up 1/10 the floor space because we're going vertical instead of trying to feed everything at a 45-degree angle. Also notice everything is at floor level. After this is done, this feeds into an automatic bag feeder. It doesn't show all the little components to the bag feeder, but basically it opens a bag, fills it to 50 pounds or 55 pounds, whatever you set it to, then conveys it over through a bag sewer. Now you can use this for plastic bags as well. You can have a bag sealer instead of a sewer. But you have a weigh conveyor right here going through a bag sewer. Then as it does the next bag, it's going to go up the conveyor onto a palletizer. And we have a whole different way. We don't use the robotic arms for palletizing. There are a couple other companies that do this as well. We're not exactly copying their idea, but we sure are getting some pointers from them because they're brilliant. Anyway, goes to the palletizer. Palletizer wraps it up. Little pusher pushes that off, goes on to another conveyor that's just automated off to the side. So, anyway, without further ado, let's run our first batch. Okay, let's say I want to do, well, first off, let's go to manual mode. Make sure that manual mode is off, and it is. So let's go back to Playlock mode. Playlock is one of the chemistries we make. Now, the times are all set very fast. These are not the actual times, and I don't want to give away the formula, so that's a couple reasons this way, but here we go. Engaged, confirm it, you just heard it turn on. First timers are going. Up, first feeder is off, second feeder is off, third feeder is off, the blender is still blending. That will blend until the bagger turns on. You'll hear it click. Okay. Oh, it clicked. Okay, now it's filling your bag. You can see the little timer going. As soon as that stops, the conveyor will run and the bag sewer is going. We are sewing the bag. We moved it over to the second conveyor, to the palletizer, and then our system, because we use multiple chemistries, has a cleaner system. And that hasn't been patented yet, so we're not going to exactly explain that entire thing. But just to show you, you can do it with anything. We'll do it with Palatalizing 600. Basically same exact thing. Runs through the numbers. I think I set these pretty low. Or not. Oh, yeah, they're all closing at the same time. Your bag feeder's feeding. It will fill here in a second. Done filling. It's sewing. It's going to go to the next conveyor. Next conveyor runs up that little conveyor. It's going to go to the palletizer. And let's not forget, we have to clean that whole system. Okay, real quickly, let's show you manual mode. Manual mode, well, you got the same picture, but everything is manual. So if we want to turn the blender on, oh, nothing happens. Why? Oh no, oh, manual mode's not on. Let's put manual mode on. Blender, oh, your blender's on. Bagger, your bagger's on. Feeder's on. Let's go to blender cleaner, see how it's on. It's off. Conveyor's on. Actual bag sewer itself. On, off. And these are once again to show you how to clean it. Also, you know what? No demonstration would really be complete without showing you what's inside. Look at that. Oh, but wait, let's see a better view. Let's turn on the end panel light. Oh, we have the end panel light. And of course we have power supply, PLC, all our little contactors, little lights, kind of typical PLC. We're pretty proud of it. Well, yeah, the light's kind of bright. Anyway, we're pretty proud of it. There you go. So real quickly, we'll go back to, let's go to the data view. This right here shows you what you're doing. So let's say, how many batches of clay lock have I done? Well, it says, I don't know if you can see it there. It says we've done one batch of 481. Sorry if you can't see that. There you go, one batch of 481, 0 batches of the other. One batch of Palatalizing 600, and so on. And we'll go back to the Palatalizing mode, and that concludes our presentation of the SciTech materials handling, actually the 55-pound, 50-pound bagging system. Believe it or not, with a simple attachment, we can make this a bulk bag feeding system as well. Thank you very much for watching.